and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's the Wrestling Classic. Justin here, back live from the Vibe with my boy Devon Law. Still a little bit under the weather, but feeling a lot better. We got lists for you guys. This week, and not the lexicon of Le Champion, but we got a bunch of top 10 lists because that's what we promised to do last week. Did we not?
We did.
So Devon actually made a top 10 list. I made a top 10 list. I got a bunch of your guys' top 10 lists. We will definitely get to that. But first things first, I just want to get some things out of the way. We finally made it to episode 20. Did not expect us to even make it to 20 episodes. It took us forever just to do episode 1. And Devon to get here for episode 2.
That was episode 1.
Because he doesn't acknowledge episode 1. But cheers, man. Episode 20. We did 20 episodes, man. We're still here. We're still doing the thing, the TWC Show. I appreciate all of you guys that have supported and listened to the show and subscribed on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, iTunes, YouTube, the YouTube channel. We even switched YouTube channels. We started on the Vibe, which I hope you guys still subscribe to, watching out for content on there. But now we're on the Wrestling Classic YouTube channel. You guys have been watching on there as well. And all the feedback we get week from week, the comments, the DMs, the comments in my comment section. When I meet you guys in person, you guys tell me you guys enjoy the show and you listen to it and all that stuff.
Really?
Yeah, really, really appreciate it, man. When I went to NXT, I had a bunch of people say that to me. Anytime I go places, like, oh, we love the show, man. We love the podcast.
That's pretty cool.
Yours and Devon's, banter is great.
Even I've had a couple of people come up to the gym and be like, oh, hey, like, seen you on Buddy's page or whatever. I was like, did you watch it? Oh, we only just watched the clips. I was like, that's good enough for me.
Yeah,
man. That's good enough for me, man.
I've had people tell me they jump through the timestamps.
I honestly just enjoy coming and sitting here and just shooting the shit.
I had a guy tell me that it's made his drives to work and home a lot better, which is always great. That's when I usually listen to podcasts, when I used to drive to work and back.
Well, man, I'm driving to Chilliwack every day. For those who don't know, it's about an hour drive. So that's when I get my podcast listening in.
No, 100%. And when I used to work in Vancouver, which was a good 45 to an hour and a half drive, depending on traffic, home and back, I used to always listen to my podcast. So to hear people doing that for us is like super cool. I was not expecting that. And anytime, you guys know it for a fact, anytime anyone asks me about my opinion about everything, like even today, for instance, someone asked me, like, I posted a picture of me and Dolph Ziggler, which I'll get to. I went to his comedy show last night, but I posted a picture of me and Dolph, and someone's like, hey, do you ever like feel like you can't say how you feel about certain wrestlers and things because you either know them or like you're trying to get to know them or you're trying to call them? Like, honestly, on the page sometimes, but if you listen to the podcast, like, I really say how I really feel, and even if I don't want to, I have a co-host that really pulls that out of me.
But it's not personal. I don't know any of these people personally.
Yeah.
We're talking about characters on a show.
Yeah.
I hate on characters in movies. I hate on characters in TV shows. I hate on characters on reality.
And no matter,
it's just characters and a lot of the storytelling. We don't know these people personally.
And 100% with all these wrestlers too, I'll never discredit anyone's grind and how hard they hustle and hard they work to be in this business and not. But if I don't agree with the storyline or a character or like what's going on TV, like, I'm gonna tell you that shit sucked. That's just the way the cookie crumbles.
And you know what? I would tell Charlotte that I think she's a shitty wrestler, and I don't think it would affect her day at all.
Yeah, no, not at all.
What does my opinion matter?
It doesn't mean she's a shitty person. You just don't think she's a great wrestler. I don't,
I think she seems like a very nice person.
I don't know what kind of person Damian Priest is, but he does absolutely positively nothing for me.
What if Sasha Banks was a shitty person?
I think Sasha Banks might be a shitty person.
Can't be.
But she's one of my favorite wrestlers of all time.
She loves her puppy.
And I will always be a Sasha Banks fan. I love her to death. That's why when people say, like, who do you like? I'm like, honestly, as a person, I love Carmella. As a wrestler, Sasha Banks is my favorite wrestler. I've never met her yet. I can't vouch for any of that, but I've heard good stories and I've heard bad stories.
We need Sasha Banks and Carmella's reindeer.
Yeah, there you go. But I love Sasha, I love Carmella, and you guys hear that every week if you've been listening to this show for the last 20 episodes. But I appreciate all you guys. Keep subscribing, keep giving us feedback, drop ratings, push us up there on the Spotify and the iTunes rankings. Just do whatever you guys can.
Give them any and all feedback. Like it, hate it, listen to it for the first time, listen to it all the time.
And anytime you guys mention Devon, I show him. So
that's not true.
Yeah, I've showed you almost every time. I guess not every time.
You've told me a couple times.
Most of the times. If it's really, really nice and stuff.
I'm disappointed. It's not enough people. I was expecting more people to hate me.
They like us together. I think you come off like the banter. We have banter, and I think that's what people like. Well, it's not like we agree on everything.
The world's full of snowflakes, man. I just figured people were offended.
And you're not. And sometimes I play it. You're
not a snowflake though.
Yeah, not off the air, but
you're just not a dickhead. Yeah, you're actually a nice guy.
That's true.
And I think I am too. But
you are, but you're very blunt.
I have this weird thing where I get unnecessarily strong opinions about things that don't really matter.
That's the best way to describe you. You're very strong opinion.
Things that really matter, I'll be like, oh no, it's no big deal. Yeah. Things that don't even matter at all, I'll like, I get into full on lecture mode.
That's the thing. You're really strongly opinionated. That's the best way to describe you. I'm not like, I have opinions and stuff, but I'm also like open to other people's opinions, and let's see.
You're generally a pretty positive guy.
Yeah, I just, but that's why we argue, because when you believe in something, you'll tell me I'm wrong and call me out. And you also, and the one thing I said to the guy that mentioned that in the Dolph Ziggler post was, I'm like, I was fortunate enough to find a co-host that knows me well enough to know when to call me out on my bullshit when I'm lying on here, to make me say the things I probably wouldn't say right off the bat normally, because he knows how to get it out of me, which makes things better, But talking about Dolph Ziggler, I got to go to Dolph Ziggler's show, his comedy show, the comedy show here in Vancouver. He came to town. Him and his brother Ryan Nemeth, and
his brother was around too.
Mm-hmm.
He seems like a funny guy.
They were both dope. I got to meet them yesterday. We took. I remember I went up to them. I try to be like just super cool and casual around wrestlers. It's just the way I am. I don't really get starstruck or anything. But I'm like, hey man, I'm like, you know what? I don't want to do like a basic picture, man. I don't want to do like the fist, like most, or like
you
point at each other.
You're the king of the fist.
That's the thing.
If anybody had never seen that before and just saw your page, I would think you invented that pose.
So the thing,
I've seen you have pictures of Summer Rain. You're just like,
so that's the thing. I do it so much, and I realized I do it so much that I went up to Dolph and like, I just don't want to do just the fist, and I don't want to do just the. Even when I met Brett a couple of weeks ago, I did the fist, or you do the point, or the
I've noticed wrestlers do that a lot too. Like one of the first guys I met, I remember I met the Hurricane. He was staying at the same hotel as me in New Orleans at Mania 30.
Yeah,
and him and Bubba Ray looked like they're having a great time. Walked past a few times, and like I've met a decent amount of semi-famous people. And he's the only time I've really actually asked for a picture other than Dana White. I was with a group of people.
Yeah.
And I was just like, hey man, this is like the first like wrestler that I had like met and got the chance to talk to.
Yeah.
And then I was about to go, and then I just kind of looked back. I was like, hey man, like I know you're like having drinks and stuff because you're having a good time. You mind if I take a picture or whatever? He's like, yeah. The first thing he did is just.
And I think with a lot of wrestlers do that though. Like I remember looking back there, I'm like, Brett used to do that on pictures all the time with his fans. It was always the fist. But then I'm like, I don't want to do the fist. And the other really popular one is what I would now call the Triple H point, where you just both point at each other.
I like that one.
Which I do that a lot too. And then obviously the biggest, like, and once again, I'm a Mark Hugh, but like the most marky Mark one is the Too Sweet.
I like that one.
So I don't want to do that
with
either.
Particular people, like if I got a Too Sweet picture with like Finn, I'd be
with the Finn, or like I did a Too Sweet with the Finn, or if it was like the Bucks with or Finn. Somebody, or like,
Finn
with Finn,
the Finn, Prince Devitt,
the Bucks, or like I think I was gonna say the Bucks, but then I went to Finn. But like if it was with the Bucks or like those guys, then yeah, definitely. Or if it was Scott Hall or Kevin Nash, and you do the Too Sweet. But I'm like, Dolph, I'm like, I don't want to do. I'm like. And usually when I actually know the wrestlers and I've had like some sort of relationship with them, like Flying Brian, like when I saw him at Starcast, I'm like, dude, we know each other. Let's not take a basic picture. Like put me in a headlock or something. He like put me in a headlock. We took like a funny picture. Mm-hmm. So I just walked.
Another guy that seems like a great dude.
Yeah, and I went up to, and like even MJF. Like when I went one time, we were chilling at the Swamp in New Orleans, and I was like, "Dude, let's just grab a quick picture."
Is it weird? He's quite a bit younger than us.
Yeah, he's like 22.
Yeah, right.
And I was like, "Let's grab a picture, like whatever."
He's younger than my younger brother.
I know it's weird, but he's the man. He's a G. He's an asshole, and he's like, "Fine." He's like, "If we're gonna take a picture," he's like, "I'm gonna stand it like this." He's like, "Give me the middle fingers." And I'm like, "Okay." Like, and that I like take like those pictures. I think are more memorable than the fists and the.
I just don't do pictures because I'll never look at them, and I just want to have a good conversation or just say. Hey, thanks for your work. Yeah. Big fan. I'm all about the handshake.
No, 100%. And luckily, so what happened was, let me get to the story though.
No.
So I was like, do you do anything? I'm like, I can do the Shawn Michaels pose.
No, you can't. I saw the picture.
No, I can. That was a bad one.
No, you can't.
I know I can. That was a bad one. I've done it so many times. That was a bad one.
Dude, it looked like your ankle was about to break.
That was a shoe.
What the hell were you doing?
That was a shoe, and then the shoe.
Ugly shoes too.
I know. It wasn't good.
Oh my god.
But
dude, it was so bad.
Yeah. So I
was just like, I saw it and I'm just like, oh sweet, oh sweet, you met Dolph. I was like, dude, you can do better than that.
No, and I can. I really can. That was a bad one. No, I can show you a million pictures of me doing Shawn Michaels pose. But I did that and
with your foot planted.
No, I don't know why. It was a shoe. I wouldn't stay flat, so I just put it flat, and then it looks like my ankle was broken. But so I did it, and then the funny thing was the guy that I went with, my buddy Tyler, already took a picture of Dolph. Comes back, he's like, "Oh, can I take the same picture?" And I'm like, what the hell? And even Dolph like made a funny face in the one he took with him because he's like, what the hell are you doing?
Dork.
And then his brother made a video of it. So there's a video of me taking the picture of Dolph and then the other guy doing it after. And his brother's like, oh, the whole internet's going to see this and that. And I thought it was pretty funny. So maybe we'll share that on here. But you can check it out on my Instagram page.
How was the show?
The show was good. they had Sunny D there. He's a comedian locally and stuff. He did a little intro thing. It was good. And then they had Dolph's brother do some comedy stuff, and it was pretty funny. Honestly, and like Dolph was funny too. But like I laughed. It was a good time. He did Q&A after the show, and that was just more conversation stuff. But realistically, like I wouldn't say it's like going to see a comedian, like a stand-up comedian, like going to watch, I don't know, like Jerry Seinfeld or Kevin Hart or like Chris D'Elia. It almost felt like you were there and it was like one of your buddies or your friends telling you jokes and stories that were just funny and you were cracking up. Mm-hmm. It was like joke after joke after joke, which, yeah, I guess is a comedy show, but like it didn't feel like it was set up to the extent where it was like, I planned out these jokes.
He's not a professional stand-up comedian.
Yeah, like this was a set and this is what I do, and the start, and like it was just like a funny ass stuff you were saying, and you laughed because it was like, oh, that's actually really funny. That's so stupid. And then also like some, and the crazy thing of all of it wasn't wrestling related.
See, he'd be a good guy to like have one of those one-man show for like wrestling talk.
Yeah,
because he's been around for a few eras. He's seen a lot of people come and go, and he's experienced having almost the Rocket, not having the Rocket.
No, 100%. So when you did
like,
the Q&A, you got a lot of,
and you know what, you could tell like he's an intelligent guy. He obviously loves pro wrestling business. Yeah. He understands it. He probably gets the politics. But I mean, I feel like he'd have a lot of good stuff, and it wouldn't just be like bashing. Like I feel like he'd have like intelligent shit to say.
Yeah. No, he made a joke about that stuff too. He's like, oh, like wrestling. He's like explaining wrestling to somebody. Like his mom or someone was like, this is what happens in wrestling. There's all this drama, this and that, blah, blah, blah. But he's like, all that happens backstage. On TV, it's like an okay show.
Yeah.
And then, like, it was funny. It was a good time. So if Dolph Ziggler and his heel crew comedy tour comes around your area, definitely go check it out if you always debate it. Because I never really ever thought it wasn't ever something I was excited to like go to. I'm going to say that honestly. But
yeah, but it's also not like it was expensive. Or
yeah, and then and I went because
like Foley's show was cool. I got to meet him.
Yeah,
and it wasn't.
Well, that's the thing.
His was really good. His was actually really good, but like it's not like it was expensive. Yeah, and it's like being in the room with somebody you grew up watching on TV. That's pretty cool. Yeah, and the crazy thing is like I always miss these things. I never know what's going on. So it's not that I wouldn't want to go. Like I probably would have missed it, and I wouldn't have. I'm just saying like I wouldn't have been sad about missing it. But I'm really glad I went. So shout out to Got Pop Concerts that set these up. Like they had Bret Hart come a couple weeks ago. I had to go to that. This Got Pop also brought Dolph Ziggler. Now they're bringing Raven coming up, and I'm actually looking forward to maybe go to the Raven show if you want to go. Did you go to the Ric Flair one?
No, but if you want to go to the Raven show, we should go to the Raven show.
When's that?
I don't know the exact date, but it's coming up. I'll let you know.
How about Smackdown's coming to Vancouver?
Yeah, how about that?
We haven't had TV since 2003.
That's crazy. Oh, and this had some Dolph Ziggler show.
When I saw it, my first thought was, oh, it won't end up happening. It'll get canceled. My first thought was this isn't gonna happen. Yeah. Well, remember we talked about like weeks ago, like there hasn't been like big shows in Vancouver for a while. They don't really come here that Vancouver
often.
People, y'all better show up and buy tickets, or they're never gonna fucking come back.
Yeah, if you are even like a half-ass wrestling fan that likes it but doesn't watch it that much anymore, like,
get your friends together, go. There's nothing. I have been to pretty much every pro sport you can think of. There is nothing better than a live wrestling show. It's made
live events generally.
It's made to entertain. It's not like a real fight or a football game or hockey game where there's a high chance of disappointment.
Yeah.
You may not have the best night of your life, but you will have a great night.
I've never taken a friend that doesn't watch it, because I've taken friends to wrestling shows that might not be the biggest fans anymore. I've been every time you walk through that curtain, like to your seats, and they see like the entrance and they see the ring, everyone has that moment of, oh crap, I feel like a kid again. That's so weird. Man,
I've taken friends who don't watch wrestling, don't know anything about wrestling. I've taken them to the local ECCW shows, ASW shows, and they have the time of their life. This is like the indie of the indie stuff. Not even like the Commodore Ballroom stuff. Like I'm talking about just like something in like Cloverdale or something like that.
No, like the small little, like their heads hit the
ceilings. Like these guys have the time of their lives.
Yeah.
Like that, and just imagine the WWE show.
Yeah, so they're coming to Vancouver, guys. So if you're out here, like actually go.
Friday Night SmackDown on Fox.
Like we're gonna be on a
I don't even care. I don't even care who's there.
I don't care how good or bad the show is. I'm just excited to go. Hopefully, get to meet Sasha or something. If they have a meet and greet or something before, I'm gonna really try to do some tickets.
Yeah, I'm not gonna do that kind of stuff.
No, why not?
I don't line up. I don't do lineups.
Don't line up.
You know that.
I know. But I'm hyped. They're coming down here in February. It's gonna be sweet.
I also don't care about autographs. If I meet you, if I'm with you and you meet somebody and I get to have a 5-10 minute conversation, that's cool.
If I was,
but I'm not about getting someone to sign something, see them for 2 seconds, and then
if I was gonna rank it, I really don't care about autographs 110%.
Not at all.
I'm not looking to get something signed.
Like the one I did get was Mick Foley, because I had a Mr. Socko I got him to sign, and I had his book from like back in the day that I got him to sign.
Well, if I had things I want, I don't know. Like even
I took them there because I'm like, okay, I have these 2 things that I've had for a long time, which would be cool to have him sign.
I have autographs that people sent me and that I've got that were cool, but like The only thing I remember actually getting signed, and it was a spur of the moment. I was when I went to that WrestleCon by accident when I was supposed to go somewhere else.
Right.
And I was wearing that WrestleMania 13 jacket with Austin and Brett. And someone in the lineup was like, "Why don't you just get Brett to sign that jacket?" And I'm like, "Oh, I didn't even think about that."
I would have never thought about it.
Yeah, I never thought about it. Did not pass my mind, and then he signed the jacket. But for me to rank it, I think it's always been that for me. I'd rather just kind of meet the person, talk to them, and be able to hang out with them. If I could hang out with them, that's better than going to a meet and greet, going to anything. If I get to bump into them in bars or in the streets and just kind of be like,
that
hey,
was
what's
the cool
up,
thing about, like, I've only, like,
yeah,
it wasn't really so much a Mania 31 because of just how spread out it was. But the cool thing about the Manias in New Orleans is, like, on Canal Street, I think it was.
New Orleans is what happened the most for me too.
And on Bourbon Street, like, you might see some WWE guys, but you're going to see all the wrestlers that are in town. And they're just at the bars.
Yeah, and honestly, when I went to WrestleMania 34 in New Orleans, that was the most. Because I went to New York.
It's just a strip of bars and everybody's just hanging out.
New Orleans was the one where I actually, like, they were out partying with us and stuff.
Yeah.
And I looked at a Wally Mania and stuff, and I was partying and stuff. And I think that
Wally Mania is, like, that's cool.
That experience for me is the best experience over anything else.
Yeah.
Second, I would say would be I do dig pictures, but that's because I'm a social media guy. To have the documentation.
You look at your pictures though.
Yeah.
Like, I have buddies who take a lot of pictures, but also look at them.
Yeah, and I share them, and I'm happy about them.
Yeah.
If I am hanging out with people and I'm at a thing, I don't really ask for the picture. I won't be like, hey, unless I'm like really drunk, then I'm like, yeah, let's get a picture. But otherwise, if like I hung out with Scott Hall and never asked him for a picture, I was like, that just seems like something that this doesn't seem like the time and place. It's at nighttime. Like, if I only really ask for pictures if it is the meet and greets, if it is WrestleCon, if it is like a StarCast, and like that's a part. I'd rather get a picture with you than getting an autograph or buying some merch, or you know what I mean. Like, I'll pay for the picture or whatever. And then it would be like autographs and merch and stuff. The last, like, I think hanging out with them, picture, then it would be autographs and stuff. But anyways, they're coming to Vancouver. Do the thing. Go to the show. I'm looking forward to it. I'm definitely gonna be there. So if any of you guys are in Vancouver and want to hang out and say what up to me and stuff as well, me and Devon will be there. You can come say what's up to us and stuff to you.
Yeah, do it.
Every show I've gone to in Vancouver,
let's grab a beer. Let's have a good time.
And there's so many people that say that every time their shows come out, like, "Hey, dude,
we can exchange seats.
Can grab a beer." And
one thing I do like about wrestling,
find me and we'll grab a beer.
One thing I do like about wrestling shows is, especially when you meet up with a bunch of people, there's always empty seats. You just go find an empty row and hang out with all the people you're with and have a good time.
Like, even when I went to the last NXT show, like, I got to meet a lot of cool people. We talked about it on the show, the guy from Brazil, and like a bunch of people follow the page for ages, and it's always cool to meet you guys. So, well, I'll be there for sure. Devon will be there at this Vancouver show. You can come say what up to us, and we can all grab a beer. Maybe we'll go grab beer somewhere at a bar or something afterwards. Who knows? We'll see what happens. But yeah, speaking of Smackdown, there's not much I want to talk about it for this week. We'll get to the list. I just want to talk about a couple of things on Smackdown because there really isn't much to talk about.
You can do your reads?
We'll do those whenever we do them.
Word.
They'll come. But because I think Smackdown, there's not much to talk about, and then we'll do the top 10 stuff because I think that's the most entertaining stuff. But since we're just talking about Smackdown as it is, Alexa returning, how do you feel about it?
Dope. She's awesome.
Dope. Back with Nikki.
Love having her on my TV screen.
Great to have her back on Smackdown. Kind of gives another reason to watch it.
I like having her on my TV screen. She's good to look at.
And she's one of the, like I say it all the time, one of the girls that's outside of the Four Horsewomen that is actually like an established woman in that division.
Might be the only one.
Yeah, other than Bayley, Sasha, Charlotte, and Becky, like Alexa's the other one that you could always consider a threat.
What is she, 5-time champion?
Yeah, 5, 6. I would say Alexa, and when properly booked, you can never deny that. And I'm not even a big fan, and I'm saying that, like, Asuka's a threat. Those are probably like the only two I'd say that are like, oh, legit.
Yeah, no, you're right about that.
Elias is back. He did that backstage segment with Dana and Maverick, which was cool.
Yeah, nice cold cup of don't care.
Yeah, it's just nice to see that he's back. Let's see if they do anything with him, what he's going to do.
He's never been in a meaningful storyline, never had a meaningful match.
I just think he's one of those characters they really like as a character.
He's better on Raw.
There was that one time, though, I'll say.
It's only a 2-hour show on SmackDown. What are you going to put him? At least Raw on a 3-hour show, that sucks. At least he's 5 to 10 minutes of entertainment.
100%. But there was that one time he had that Intercontinental title match with Seth Rollins, and I almost thought, you know what?
I thought
Elias would have been a great Intercontinental champion at that point.
Yeah, he would be. He'd be like Honky Tonk Man.
It just didn't happen. So maybe that'll happen one day, but I'm glad to see he's back. We'll see what happens with them. Sheamus, he came back. The Celtic King cut a promo. His hair's back fully.
The Celtic King?
No more mohawk. He was the king of the ring at one point. He was the Celtic King. The Celtic Warrior. Whatever you want to call him. Celtic Warrior workouts. He's back. And I just said Cult of King because the last time I think I remember his hair looking like that, he was the king of the ring because he's always had the mohawk.
I'm glad he's back. I've been kind of waiting for him.
Yeah.
And I know he's gotten himself in really good shape. He always has a good match, and he's one of the few guys that's an established character that actually feels kind of important.
Yeah.
That
you can put him anywhere.
we don't got to worry about him being buried or having to get over. He's there. He has a spot. He is what he is. He's a former champion. He's been at the top of the card for a long time. And a lot of times. He's been in the tag.
So, he's done every division.
He's somebody who doesn't need to be established. He's established, and no matter what he does, he's probably going to be pretty good.
And he can fit in any spot. He's almost kind of like where...
See, I don't know the rosters well enough, especially because I haven't been really watching SmackDown because it's been so bad. But...
Cesaro is on there, which is weird. So the bar is there, but
who would Sheamus be good to feud with right off the hop?
Shinsuke?
Yeah.
That'd be awesome. The IC title. That's the only belt.
And then Shinsuke probably wouldn't be afraid to
That's the only belt Sheamus has never won is the Intercontinental. He's won the US, he's won the World, he's won the WWE. Obviously, Universal's new, but he's won the tag belts on both shows. He's the only belt he's never won. I guess 24/7, but that doesn't count either. Is the Intercontinental title? He took a picture one time with all the belts, and the only one he was missing was the Intercontinental title.
Right.
And I think this is time to get it. I like that. I would love to see the bar get back together down the road sometime, but I want him to go after the Intercontinental title first. I'm glad to see Sheamus back. He's a G. He's my boy. I really will dig him. The one thing I'll say about last thing I want to say about Sheamus really quickly though is I'm glad he's on SmackDown because as much as Raw has a stacked roster, we'll get to that at a point. It's really confusing what they're doing with a lot of the guys with there's no title there. I
kind of like it. It's kind of a free for all right now.
It's weird though. Like
it's almost like in the hood or something. You got a bunch of dudes just kind of all almost top dog in a big city.
I guess so. It's just there was some weird stuff going on, like with the whole Drew and Randy Orton.
It's like the '90s New York rap game. There was a lot of them, and they're all just aiming for the top.
The other thing that kind of made a debut in SmackDown this week that I want to touch on is the Fiend's new title. So Bray, when he's Bray, Mr. Rogers Bray, he has the Blue Universal title, but when he's the Fiend, he has that new big title with his face on it that they're selling for $6,500 on WWE Shop. How do you feel about it, man?
It's cool for the character, but it's super stupid. It's not a world title.
It doesn't look good at all.
No, but it's just it's cool for the character. It's something for him to carry on. It's a prop.
No, 100%.
But that's not a world title. That's not.
Yeah.
No matter what generation or era you grew up in, that's not a world title.
Not at all. That's
not something you want to win, and that is not like that. It's like the picture perfect upper mid card feud.
What throws me off is the fact that
I thought the smoking skull belt was stupid too. I like the way it looked. I was also 9 or 10 years old, but that's also not a.
No, 100%. Like I like that. I think any like custom titles to a custom superstar are kind of dumb because why does anybody want to win that?
You want to change the color of the strap? Cool.
Like I think like how they did it with Daniel Bryan where he had his own, but when Kofi won it, they brought back the old one. That was smart because the one thing that I would hate to happen is what happened with the Cena title when Cena brought the spinner belt. The next thing we ran with it for like 8 years.
They're not gonna run with the Fiend title.
I know. I'm just saying
it's a stupid thing to be worried about.
I'm not worried about. I'm saying that happened, and that's the last thing. Like that was the last one. Like
that's CM Punk's belt, anyways.
No, it's a Cena title.
The CM Punk's belt.
It's the Cena title.
Cena spun.
I know, but
I more equate that title to Randy Orton and CM Punk than I do to John Cena.
I say Cena. It's a Cena title.
Yeah, just because you hated him so much that it just bugs you. But when you think about it, who had it the most? Orton had it a lot. And Punk had the best run with it.
Cena had it a lot.
Right when it first came out.
And after. And near the end.
Not that much.
Punk had it last though, right? Punk had it last. That's what lasts.
No, but he had the best run.
The longest.
The best.
That too, I guess. That's where everyone got back into wrestling. But anyways, I don't like the title. I think it's stupid. The one thing I don't want to see is someone win it and have to you're not going to celebrate with that title. So I don't know, but it's cool. I guess I would not buy it. I don't even think, even if I was a title collector, I oddly don't even think I would want that in my collection.
Side note, did you see what Seth said on backstage about that red light?
Oh yeah, that it was distracting and it sucked and it was hard to work.
And then he didn't even know they were going to leave it on.
I did not know about. I didn't know.
That's ridiculous. He's like, I didn't even know it was going to be on for the match.
That's not.
It's horrible.
Yeah.
I'll never not complain about that.
I hope
a lot of things I'll just let slide. I'm never not going to complain about that.
They need that red light to be gone, 110%. And then the Fiend took Bryan under the ring and I think shaved his beard and maybe cut his hair.
I hope so.
I heard.
I hate the way Daniel Bryan looks.
Bryan is known to donate his hair when it gets really long, whether it's his beard or his hair. So maybe they did just cut.
Why? Because he did it once.
No, it just that's what he does. I don't know. he does it. So maybe that's what happened. Maybe he did it once, maybe done
That's
3
not
times. I don't know
probably
how
why
many times he's done it.
That's probably not why it happened. That's probably where the hair will go.
Yeah, no, 100%. But like he probably wanted to change. Maybe it got long enough where he's like he probably wanted to. I don't know. We don't know. I'm just saying he does that stuff. So maybe that's like I wouldn't be surprised if he comes back with a new hairdo because they were pumping up.
Your hair.
They were bumping maybe they were pumping out a whole like a new face is gonna show a new face, and I guess the new face is Brian getting a new face. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't take WWE's advertising very seriously.
Yeah, I don't know. And last thing I want to talk about SmackDown, and then we'll go to the list. I think the list will be more fun before we get to Raw and whatnot. Lacey Evans is now a babyface and decked Sasha Banks. I know you probably don't care about any of that.
Not at all.
My only thing is
why does that make her a babyface?
because Sasha and Bayley are the heels.
They could still be 2 heels.
Maybe. I just think that the crowd is behind her. They're chanting Lacey. She went after them. The way WWE works, she's going to be a babyface. Bayley just stood there. I don't know. I think, I would assume your friend gets punched. Jump in or something, but I don't know.
No, emos don't care about anything.
Emos don't care about anything. That's the only thing. And if anything, if Devon has no opinion on it, what do you guys feel about that? How do you guys feel about the whole Lacey Sasha thing? Because it kind of threw me off.
I really hope you don't have an opinion on it. There's nothing worth having an opinion on.
Because I don't know if Lacey's like. Do we want to see Lacey in a title picture?
We just
again?
need to see Sasha dripped in gold walking around.
We need Sasha to turn on Bayley. I don't know where Lacey comes into all of this. But anyways, that's all I really. Those are my only notes about SmackDown. That's the only things that stood out to me. Yeah, Roman beat up somebody.
I haven't watched SmackDown in a while. It'll take a good show for me to come back.
But
and I'll come back the week after.
Yeah, that was SmackDown. But before we get to our list, 'cause I want to talk about our top 10 list. I told you to make a top 10 list last week.
Blah, 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 blah.
And I made my own top 10 list of my favorite. And a bunch of people, about 90 of you guys commented your guys' top 10 list. And I'm going to share some of them, not all of them, because there's a lot of them.
I could have named like 50 names and just kept going.
It was really hard. After I passed like 8, it got hard because I'm like 9, 10.
It'll be fun. It'll be fun. I feel like me and you have a lot of
similar ones.
Same names, but we also grew up watching the same shit, the same VHS.
You also like certain people more than I did because you were alive a little bit longer than me, and I yeah.
I think we liked different eras at different times too. Like
Yeah.
I really didn't like for me until like the Austin era.
Yeah.
I was watching 84 to 92.
Yeah.
Like, because those are the VHSs I had. Those are the videos I rented.
I was watching I watched a lot of 96, 97 over and over again.
Like, okay, so 95, 96, 94, I would watch some pay-per-views and stuff because we had the black box.
Mm-hmm.
But I wasn't watching Raw regularly because I didn't know about schedules and watching on Monday or this and that. So I might catch it by accident, but it never clued into me.
Yeah.
That, I have to catch it on Mondays. I was like, that didn't happen for me until I was like a lot older.
I don't know when that happened.
But I always watch pay-per-views. My parents always threw them on for me.
Because oddly enough, because once again, like my influence of wrestling came because my older brother watched a lot of wrestling and had all these tapes and things recorded. And he had a lot of stuff from the 80s, the Hulkamania era, because he was a Hulkamaniac. And then he had a dark period where he himself wasn't really watching 93, 94, 95. Mainly 95. Like he really wasn't in it. And then he started recording Raws and stuff again in 96. So, like, I really small influence from that 93, 94, 95 thing until I got older and I started watching them myself on the network and just whatever and being like, whatever. But, yeah, I don't know. I don't even know if that impacts my list. I'll talk about my list in a second. But first things first, I want to give a quick shout out to Visionpros. If you're looking for glasses, sunglasses, prescription glasses, contacts, any of that stuff, check out Visionpros. They deliver nationwide between U.S. and Canada. So if you are going to order glasses, sunglasses, or you need that stuff and you want to order in Canada, go to visionpros.ca. If you're in the States, you can use visionpros.com. Use my promo code VP Classic. Save yourself 25% on all your purchases. If you're just buying a new pair of glasses, you already know what you're going to get. Or you've gone into a store and you tried them on and you know what you're going to get. Save yourself some money. Go home and just order that pair online. They have all the brand names you're looking for. They have all the prescriptions that you need. You can plug it all in their order and save yourself 25% by using the promo code VP Classic. So do the thing, visionpros.com and visionpros.ca. Also, shout out to Maestros Classic. Week in and week out, we're always repping Maestro. They're doing the thing. They're the licensed barbers for NASCAR, the 76ers, the WWE, and many more. I use their products on a weekly basis, a daily basis. I mean, actually, I shouldn't even say weekly. I know Devon uses them as well.
Yeah, I hope you shower more than once a week.
I use them on a daily basis. I used it a couple hours ago, actually.
Boston.
I just took a shower and I was scrubbing their beard wash in my beard, and then they got all foamy and nice. And the bigger my beard is, the more I feel it now because I'm like, oh, This is crazy. And my beard's getting pretty big, but Maestro Classic is the best in beard care and undeniably good at keeping your beard clean and conditioned. Sulfate-free beard wash to clean the beard without drying your skin, and beard butter to condition it, and beard oil to keep it shine. Use my promo code TWC Maestro. Save yourself some money on your Maestro Classic products on their brand new website. The website's been updated and upgraded, and they sell merchandise and stuff as well, man. They're wearing it right now. They got comfy t-shirts, comfy sweaters, whatever you're looking for, hoodies and stuff for the winter. They got you covered, man. And it looks cool, man. They got cool designs. It's not an ugly shirt. It's not an ugly logo at all. So, definitely check out Maestro Classic. Check out their website. Use the promo code TWC Maestro. Do the thing. And yeah, let's get to our top 10 and top 10 lists, man. Should we do mine first? Because I think a lot of people already know mine if they follow my page and stuff. Yours is a little bit more.
You're the host, man.
Yours is a little bit more like I'm even actually.
No, you'll be surprised at how.
I'm actually looking forward to yours.
You'll probably be surprised how cookie cutter it is, because
I think everyone already knows my top 5.
There's a lot of names I wanted to put on there, but I just didn't because it's only down to 10. Like, I straight up would have thrown on names like...
I'm an overthinker.
Like, I would have thrown on names like D'Lo Brown, the Repo Man.
Oh, I didn't think that deep.
I would have, because like I'm thinking guys of like just guys I remember. Like, everybody did the little D'Lo Brown head thing. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like stuff like that. I remember I had the Repo Man's toy in his music.
Yeah.
Like Ted DiBiase I wanted to throw on there because I loved his music, and he was the bad guy in all the VHSs I watched. So a lot of those names I would have had in there, but I'll explain my list before I give it anyway.
Let me also clarify very quickly before we give this list out that if you guys didn't listen last week and you're just listening this week,
we're talking personal favorites here, right?
Yeah. So what happened was,
and you cannot tell us who our favorites are.
So what happened was we were talking about the Mount Rushmore thingy, and it went to people not saying who they personally would have put on the Mount Rushmore, but rather who they think they should put on the Mount Rushmore, because I commented on Twitter saying who I think they should, but I didn't really put any of my personal favorites on there. So then I challenged Devon to make a top 10 list of his actual personal favorites, and this is the thing. These are our personal favorites. The top 10 wrestlers that we personally like the best and made the biggest impact on us and were our favorites growing up. Not like who we think the top 10 wrestlers of all time are with like overall statistics and what they did in the business.
Statistics, that's professional wrestling.
Or like who made the most money. This is like personally, like these are my top 10 favorites personally. Like, these are the ones, when I see these guys, I'm watching on the screen, I'm hooked. They're my favorites to watch, this and that.
Let's do a tag team one soon.
We should do that too. So I'm a little bit of an overthinker. I did a little bit too much. So
you care what people think.
No, I know. I
do though.
Not really, not with this top 10 list. This is what it is. My thing is I made a top 20. Like,
you have to narrow it down to 10.
No, I am. I'm just going to...
I have more than 10 too, but I'm going to narrow it down to... I have more than 10, but I'm going to narrow it down to 10 live and in action.
I'm going to explain my top 10, but my 20 to 10, I'm just going to say them real fast in order. And this is going downwards, guys. 20 down.
I didn't put mine in order.
Oh, mine's in order. That's how hard I did. So 20 down is Dave Bautista, Mick Foley, Eddie Guerrero, Edge, Kurt Angle, Hulk Hogan, The Rock, The Outsiders, Triple H,
those are two
Chris
people.
Jericho. I put The Outsiders together. I know it's bad. You shouldn't. I do.
That's stupid.
I do. Fine, then I'll take Nash out. Put Scott Hall there by himself.
I'm surprised you have Batista out of your top 10. You're a big Batista
No, that's
fan.
a 20. Yeah, I'm a huge
That's
Batista
what I said. You
fan.
put him outside. You put him outside your top 10 is what I'm saying.
But when you see who's in my top 10, it just makes more sense to me because these are the guys that, like, you know. But
you loved Batista. I thought he would have been your top 5.
No. Batista's a fucking man, though. I was so happy I got to see him this year before he, like, officially retired. When you saw him at WrestleMania 30 and I never got to 30, I'm like, man, I'm never going to see Batista at WrestleMania. And then he came back for this year. I'm like, thank God I got to see Batista at WrestleMania. It was a big thing for me. But, yeah, a lot of people would also probably think The Rock would be up there and Triple H and Chris Jericho. I'm a big fan of all those guys, but they're my top 20. Edge I was a huge Edge head, but he's in my top 20 because my top 10, if I narrow it down, like, these are the 10 guys that, like, if I'm watching them, I'm always intrigued. If they're on my TV screen, I'm intrigued. They draw me in. They're like my favorites of the favorites. My personal cream of the crop. And once, like we said last week, you won't find many of the current roster guys on there because I haven't found a place for them yet because they're still there. These are more people I grew up watching who have been around for a while because they've impacted me in my life, either growing up or just in recent years, more than, you know, Seth Rollins or Kevin Owens or AJ Styles, all these guys that are super dope right now that probably will be on this top 20 list and kick some of these guys off one day. They're just not there yet. It just there's too many male wrestlers over the 20 years I've been watching wrestling, thus for me to like be putting those guys on my list yet. We could also one day do a top 10 current wrestler list and it'd be totally different.
Ours would probably be so different.
Yeah, like our top 10 favorites of the current roster.
For the last 5 years.
Yeah, would be totally different. But if I have to say of all
I'm afraid
time,
I've got some bad news.
because when I say my top 10 right now, there's almost nobody I think I would want to take out if you're a change. Like, so number 10, Randy Orton. I've been a Randy Orton fan since like the guy came out in blue tights and he was doing the Legend Killer stuff and the RNN news. I was attracted to the guy when he first came on the screen. I don't want to say that because it sounds funny, and I've been a fan since. And he's just been one of my favorite guys to follow his career from. And Randy Orton's one of the guys I can actually say I follow his career from the beginning to now, and through his evolution, like I've always been down with his changes and all that stuff. He hasn't changed as much in the past, I'd say, decade, but from 2002 all the way up to 2010, he changed so much, and every time I was with it, I'm a huge Randy Orton fan, and I like the fact that you can follow his story as a character. Number 9, Hot Rod Roddy Piper, man. Dude, when those bagpipes hit, every time I got hyped. Even when it was like 2010, his promos were getting bad. Those bagpipes hit, like he came out for Hogan's birthday, I don't know, I got like chills and stuff. Like I'm a huge Piper fan. And he just reminds me of like what I like his craziness when he cuts promos and the way he talks and everything. Like everything stood out to me, and like the older I got, the more I appreciated the fact that like that one line he said to Hogan at Halloween Havoc 1996 was like, do you think they would have liked you so much if they didn't hate me so much? I'm like, that's so true. Like he is the ultimate bad guy. Everyone gives so much credit to Hogan and Cyndi Lauper and everyone for that rock and wrestling thing, but I don't think that rock and wrestling thing would have been a thing without the Hot Rod Roddy Piper. My number 8 is CM Punk. That guy got me back into professional wrestling. I followed him since he was in Ring of Honor. I was always like a fan of his, but I wasn't a huge fan. But I will credit that pipe bomb to get me back into wrestling, because there was a point where I might have not been watching. There might have not been a Wrestling Classic Instagram page if there wasn't a pipe bomb and a CM Punk bring me back into wrestling and bring me back in the WWE. Because at that point, R-Truth was feuding with John Cena, and the water bottle was a weapon of choice, and I hated all that crap. And this guy came out, dropped a pipe bomb, and got me back in. And I was already a fan of CM Punk. I've always been a fan of him as a wrestler. I was hyped when he won the Money in the Bank. I was hyped when he won the World Championship. But that last run that he had, and he dropped that pipe bomb, he changed. Like I just vibed with him. I connected with him. There's some weird connection I have with CM Punk where, like, when I think of him and his attitude, it makes me feel like I should be a little bit rebellious and have, stand my ground and believe in my values and all that type of stuff too, man. Kind of what Hulk Hogan did for a lot of people, I guess. Number 7 is Sting. I was a huge Sting fan. Painted my face like Sting, wanted to be Sting. That whole Crow Sting era, like being a kid during that time, it's hard not to be a Sting fan if you grew up in the late 90s. That guy was just an enigma, man. He just captured my imagination. And notice a lot of my list is about people that captured my imagination here. Number 6, the Nature Boy, Ric Flair. Even though we weren't fully alive in his prime, like everything I caught of him in the 90s in WCW and later on with Evolution, everything, like Ric Flair is a legend. He's the GOAT. Like I cut Ric Flair promos, I wooed, I strutted, I did all the stuff, fans that grew up with him in the 70s and 80s did. So Ric Flair definitely made my list. He's all-time great. When he retired, it was sad. I'll always be a Nature Boy fan, man. His promos of him taking his clothes off and stripping and yelling and throwing his shoes, kind of what Cody Rhodes did this week, how many people were influenced by Ric Flair? How many Ric Flair promos can you watch?
Yeah, for most of my fantasy sports leagues, my name's a Nature Boy.
Yeah. Now we're down to my top 5, okay? And my top 5. And kicking off my top 5 at number 5 is probably someone who left me with the most memories in wrestling in the shortest span, and that's Stone Cold Steve Austin. A lot of the stuff that I enjoy, I go back watching, like, and he did the crazy stuff with Stone Cold Steve Austin. That glass shattered. It was a good night of Monday Night Raw or SmackDown or whatever the hell the show was. And as a kid, everybody loved Stone Cold. Even my friends that even barely liked wrestling back then had Austin 316 shirts, Skull shirts. Like, Austin influenced an entire era, and I was part of that era, man. I was a part of those kids that were going to school saying suck and throwing up middle fingers, man. And a lot of that's to do with Stone Cold Steve Austin, man. Until this day, like, the guy has a podcast. Anytime he does anything, like, he's Stone Cold, man. He's a legend. He's one of the greatest of all time. He kicks off my top 5. Number 4, the Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels. Can you, like, he's one. If I'll say anything about 3 out of my 4 top guys, I'll never be bored watching their matches. And Shawn Michaels is one of those 3 guys, and just all time great. I loved him in the late 90s when he was, Shawn Michaels on drugs, DX, 97, 98, Shawn Michaels with all that attitude and that cockiness and that ego and the original DX. And when he came back for that second run, man, like, I was always a Shawn Michaels fan. I'm so grateful he got to do that. I remember being a kid and having to be like a closet Shawn Michaels fan because my brother would tell me that Shawn Michaels was, too flamboyant for guys to be a fan of and this and that and blah, 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 blah. But always been an HBK fan. Was singing Sexy Boy since I was a kid. Probably shouldn't have. But Shawn Michaels is my number 4. My number 3 is obviously the best there is, the best there was, the best ever will be, Bret the Hitman Hart. I tried to be like Bret. I thought he was the coolest of the cool. The Hart Foundation was my jam. I mean, and I'm talking about the crew with Owen and Davey and Jim Neidhart and Pillman. I'll never be bored watching a Bret Hart match. I can watch a different Bret Hart match every hour, and I think everyone would be a little bit different somehow. One of the best ever, one of the nicest guys I've ever had the pleasure to meet, treats me like a friend. I met him when I was a kid. I cried. He's dope. Honestly, I used to walk around like I was Bret with my fingers in my little, like, the belt little strap thing. It's just, I don't know. Bret was my hero, man. Like, out of these top 3, like, I'm going to say, like, the other 2 captured my imagination a lot, but Bret was, like, my childhood hero. He was, like, my superhero. Like, he was real, The other 2 seemed like they were out of this world. Bret was real, and he was my hero, and he's my number 3 top time all favorite. Number 2 is The Undertaker, just because everything. There was times where I wouldn't even watch SmackDown and stuff, but I'd only tune in to see what The Undertaker did. I'm the guy. I will always be an Undertaker fan. He captured my imagination as a kid. The first time I saw his scary ass with the purple gloves and the tie and everything, feuding with Mankind in '96, like, I was just drawn to him. He scared me with the Ministry, and till this day, like, every time I see the Undertaker comes around, I'm grateful for it. A lot of people think he should go away, maybe retire. I'm like, you know what, man? Let's just be grateful while he's here. He's doing the thing for us. If you've never been in the crowd for the Undertaker's entrance at a WrestleMania, that really sucks, man, because it gave me goosebumps. It makes you feel like a kid, man. He's just a once-in-a-lifetime legend. There'll never be a gimmick that worked as great as the Undertaker again. He's my number 2. And my number 1 is, the Macho Man Randy Savage. Talk about capturing my imagination. I've never... he's my number 1, man. I just... another person where I feel like I connect to, vibe with. He just larger than life, colorful, didn't seem real at all. So, like, his voice, his outfits, his attitude, he was unpredictable. He was the madness, man, and Macho Man. I could watch his promos for days. I can watch his matches for days. I'll never get bored of watching Macho Man matches. He's just a unique, once-in-a-lifetime superstar, man, full of charisma and just authentic, man. There's Macho is my number 1. Like, anything Macho. If anyone ever sends me anything Macho, shows me rare pictures of Macho, I just get pumped. He just, I don't know what drew me to him, but I knew my brother was a huge Hulkamaniac, so I didn't want to like Hulk Hogan because my brother loved Hulk Hogan. So I was always drawn a little bit more to Macho Man in that sense too. But Macho was my guy and will always be my guy. And like, anytime someone shares Macho Man stories with me, like, it's some of my favorite stuff, because I don't know why. I'm just fascinated, legitimately fascinated by that dude. I wish I got to meet him before he passed away. Yeah, but that's my top 10. Sorry, I went on with things.
No, that was good. I enjoyed that.
Fair, thanks.
It was corny as fuck, but I enjoyed it.
Yeah, well, that's why they're my top 10.
Yeah.
Sentimentally connected to my wrestlers.
Yeah, so I mean, I got a list. I think I got about 20 here.
Okay.
So I kind of thought about it throughout the week. I couldn't really come up with more than 7 or 8.
Yeah.
And then I sat down after work today before we came here, and I just jotted down a bunch of names. And my criteria was pretty much a lot of the guys that, like I said, I watched a lot of VHSs. I rented a lot of VHSs. So a lot of these guys were guys I saw all over my VHSs. I had their action figures. For me, it was VHSs and action figures. Those are my strongest memories. Those are guys I'm most connected to.
Yeah.
Like, I don't have Rock and Austin on my list.
Oh, fair.
The Rock, you can go back and watch pretty much any promo of his and enjoy it, love it.
100%.
He honestly didn't come to mind, didn't name him.
No.
And I think Stone Cold is in this compartment in my brain where you don't need to name him.
Like, he's just
for the reasons you stated.
Yeah.
Every one of his promos were good. The glass shattering would make your entire day, night, week. All his moments were great. We can remember what he was doing, and we can remember where we were sitting, who we were with, the conversations we had about it. Sticking our middle fingers up, all that kind of stuff. Like, I don't think it really needs to be named, but I don't have him on my list either. Because especially Rock and Austin, even on the network now, I don't go back and watch a lot of their stuff. I don't watch a lot of their promos. I don't watch a lot of their matches.
Yeah.
A lot of the guys I've named here, I'll go back and search them out. I'll look for their times on Raw or SmackDown, or on whatever other superstars or whatever it is before Raw or SmackDown was a thing.
No, for sure, yeah.
A lot of these guys are guys where I will genuinely have a strong memory about them because of the VHSs and just how much I like them, mimicking their moves on toys and stuff like that on my little brother. So that was sort of my criteria. Who do I remember? And then also who do
I'm excited to hear.
And then who do I go back and watch now?
Yeah.
On the network, because I like to sometimes I just want to sit down and watch some good matches.
Yeah.
So I sat down before work and just jotted a bunch of names out, just off the top of my head, and there might be 20 or 21. So I got CM Punk, Bret Hart, HBK, Jericho, Kurt Angle, Macho Man, Taker. For the record, I love the early 90s Taker. Biker Taker has always been my favorite.
Fair game.
Ultimate Warrior. I was the biggest Ultimate Warrior fan. Had all the toys, had the stuffed animals, watched all of his matches, would watch him versus Macho Man at WrestleMania 7 repeatedly.
Yeah.
I rented WrestleMania 6. I don't know how many times. I got mad when Bobby Heenan held his legs down and Rick Rude pinned him. I was into that guy. When I got the Anthology CD, the first 2 theme songs I played were Ultimate Warriors and Razor Ramones. Yeah. Like those, like I wanted to hear Warriors on a CD. I was like, I own this song. I can listen to it whenever I want. Mr. Perfect, Roddy Piper, Kane. Kane's mostly from a video game standpoint. Yeah. I picked him in almost every video game when I was younger. Yeah. Royal Rumbles. Just big booting people out, clotheslining him out of the ring. I thought he was great. He's super strong, had a high rating. I was down.
He's G.
Finn Balor.
Oh, wow.
Probably surprised on this list. For some reason, always loved him. Loved his promos. Loved his matches. Loved everything about him. Alberto Del Rio.
Oh, wow.
I loved that guy. Yeah. His music came on, I got happy.
You actually really did like Alberto Del Rio.
I loved him. Destiny! Yeah. I don't know. I was down. Triple H, Chris Benoit, Eddie Guerrero, AJ Styles, Jake Roberts, Christian, and Edge. Yeah. Massive Christian fan.
No, Christian's dope.
Loved all of his single stuff. Loved his promos. I thought he was great. If I had to narrow it down to 10, CM Punk, my favorite wrestler of all time. I think my favorite match of all time. Out of all the VHSs I've watched, everything I've seen, my 2 favorite matches, number 1 would probably be CM Punk versus Undertaker at WrestleMania 29. Yeah. And the Royal Rumble in 92. Oh, I think those are probably my 2 favorite matches of all time. CM Punk, for all the reasons you stated. I started buying wrestling shirts because of him. I started buying the DVDs because of him. We both hard. That pipe bomb got me back into wrestling. I always want to know what he was doing. His theme song.
He has an aura about him. When he's around, you listen. And you know what? Even on backstage, when he's around, you listen.
His storytelling in the ring. Yeah. I'm not critical. I'm just a kid watching a guy have good matches. His heel work, his good guy work. He was just a real ass person.
And dude, they killed on his DVD.
He was a real person, man. I actually.
He was relatable.
I love the guy. He is definitely my favorite wrestler of all time. Yeah. And close second, Bret the Hitman Hart. Canadian hero. We loved him. We all put our jackets onto our sleeves. Yeah. Did the arm thing.
We did all that. We all sharpshooter. I put my brother in the sharpshooter all the time.
The sharpshooter, the elbow drop, where you kind of hold your elbow. Yeah, you know what I mean?
Coming off the second.
Russian leg sweep. We thought it was a great move because he did it. He was just real. He sold with his mouth open, had his hair over his head. Sometimes had spit in his hair. Yeah. Didn't matter. You know, SummerSlam 93, he's got sparkles all over him. He's fighting Doink the Clown and Jerry Lawler. I love that Jerry Lawler stuff.
No, it was solid. Anything Bret did was solid.
He's a Canadian hero. For those of you who don't understand.
Bret and Austin is my favorite match of all time.
For those of you who don't understand, you don't understand.
Mania 13.
Especially people in America, you have a lot of heroes. You have a lot of people to choose from. We don't as many, and the people we do stand out, and Bret Hart stands out. I'd throw HBK on there. When I was a kid, my favorite move was probably the super kick, and that might be the super kick in the pose is enough for me. Yeah, that's enough for me.
That pose I do all the time, badly supposedly, but I do it all the time.
Jericho, I would rank very close to CM Punk and Bret Hart.
Yeah, you're a huge Jerichoholic.
Yeah, always have been. I remember the list of 1,000 holds. I remember all his WCW stuff. And I didn't know anything. So when I saw him come out on Raw in 1999, I'm like, you know those moments where you're watching something around and you get it? And you're like looking around the room for someone so you can just explain to them why it's so awesome. Yeah. You know, something's happened. You're like, I need to tell somebody why this is so dope. I always felt that way about Jericho, the stuff he did. Like, I go back all the time and watch that feud of him and Shawn Michaels. He punches Michaels' wife in the face. Yeah, they have my favorite ladder match of all time at No Mercy. Like, just really, really good stuff. I always loved Chris Jericho. I wanted to put Angle in there. I don't know if I could. Macho Man, I want to get in there. Yeah. Just because of on all of my VHSs, his are the matches I probably watched the most. But I'll just go with the guys I ticked off here while you were speaking for my top 10, right? So I got CM Punk, Bret Hart, HBK, Chris Jericho, Ultimate Warrior, Mr. Perfect. Loved the Perfect Plex.
Yeah.
Loved his gear. Loved his matches. Loved how him and Bret Hart had a great match. Like, he's Mr. Perfect.
Yeah.
Loved the little, I was doing a few weeks ago, that pencil thing you always used to do. Hitting his gum.
Yeah, I still
throwing
do
his
the gum
rag. You know what I mean? Roddy Piper.
Go.
Just loved his interview style.
His energy.
Loved his matches. Just really unforgettable. Ric Flair. He's a guy I would put in my top 5. My first memory of him is Royal Rumble 92.
Yeah.
A VHS I owned and watched religiously. Just thought and think he was so great. Loved the robes.
Yeah.
Loved the way he yelled into the microphone.
Is there a better promo than that with a tear in my eye? This is the greatest moment of my life.
It's just like the Nature Boy. Like I said, I play a lot of fantasy sports, a bunch of football leagues, basketball.
I think I
leagues,
use a lot of Nature Boy quotes all the time.
I have the Nature Boy is my name in a lot of things, and I'm one that's known to been using Nature Boy GIF or two.
Yeah.
Chris Benoit, another Canadian guy that I liked in WCW.
Yeah.
Loved the crossface, loved the headbutt. Loved his suplexes. Everyone used to want to do the 3-time German suplexes.
Yeah.
That was great. So I don't know how many is that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. How many is that? 4, 7, 8,
This is
9.
not even in order, by the way, guys. He's just saying his top 10.
Yeah, and then my 10, I got down here. I got Eddie Guerrero, AJ Styles, Jake Roberts, Christian, Edge. I think I'll go back up and I'll throw Taker in there.
Yeah.
For the reason of just the memories. You remember all his angles. My first kind of memories of Undertaker were his feud with Kamala.
Yeah.
Where
you're a little bit older than me. So
all the
thing, yeah.
all the promos leading up to it, he was building Kamala's coffin.
He steps out of it.
And then a coffin match, he put him in there and he nailed it down. Kimchi and these guys are going nuts.
Undertaker's a special being, man.
Yeah. So I mean,
guys, like,
ours were completely different, but mine were mostly guys that I watched a lot on my VHS.
No, for sure. And like those are guys, like, if I was gonna do a top 30, like guys like Mr. Perfect would roll in there. Guys like Owen Hart would roll in there. Benoit would roll in there too. He is one of those guys I really did enjoy, but it's hard, man. It's hard to make your personal 10. Like, it's like you almost know you're 5, 6. Like, okay, that's solid. And after that, you're like, well, this is hard. And then I know, like, I almost thought I didn't mention Kurt Angle, but I did mention him for my top 20.
I always chanted one more match with Christian, for the record.
Did you? Christian's a G too. I'll say a couple of you guys, and then we're just gonna move on after. But we got still Realtor, as they said, Bam Bam Bigelow, Stone Cold, Jericho, Macho Man, Eddie, HBK, Kevin Owens, Repo Man, Hot Rod and Edge.
Oh yeah, I did have KO on mine too. I totally passed that.
Kevin Owens, AJ Styles, Seth Rollins. Those are guys that will eventually be on my list at one day. They're just not there yet.
You know, I'll take Perfect out of my top 10 and put KO in there.
Yeah, no, KO is a G, man. He's definitely he's
another
for sure.
Another just Canadian guy.
Killing it, dude.
That's real.
If we did our current day personal favorites, like KO is probably like number 1 or 2 for me between him and Styles, because I really love Styles. But Eddie Guerrero, another guy, Tyler, is Eddie Guerrero, The Rock, Stone Cold, CM Punk, John Cena, Danny O'Brien, Seth Rollins, Randy and Jefferson started watching more recently. What do you sold out? Says is John Cena, Punk, Danny O'Brien, Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, Jinder Mahal, Triple H,
the Maharaja,
Rock, Sasha Banks and Alexa Bliss, my boy Nick from Veterans Minimum at the Lamb Show on Instagram, Austin, Punk, RVD, Balor, Reigns, Edge, AJ Styles, The Rock, Triple H, and Bret Hart. Wrestling Junkies, Undertaker, Sting, Bret Hart, Stone Cold, Triple H, HBK, CM Punk, Kenny Omega, Booker T, and Bray Wyatt. I was
just about to say I had Booker T on mine too, completely past him between Warrior and Perfect there.
I want to say some ones that had there was, I think it was Shampoo Models right here, because he had a unique one. His was
what's his name?
Shampoo Model.
I like that.
He's followed me since like 2014, since like day one. So I
like
want to say
name.
his. Bret Hart, Minoru Suzuki, Jake Roberts, Dr. Death, Steve Williams, Kurt Angle, Michael Hayes, Will Ospreay, Rick Martel, Chris Jericho, and Bryan Danielson. So you can tell he's been watching a lot longer.
I understand all those for Dr. Death. Dr. Death never had a good match.
Nah,
I understand Rick Martel. I love the model stuff back in the day.
He would be on my list if I did like a top 50.
What was his tag team with Tito Santana?
Yeah, Strike Force.
Yeah.
I also want to say this one too, because this one is really cool too, because a lot of old school guys, and these are guys that follow me, have been watching wrestling forever.
I don't understand Dr. Death though. Come on.
Bruno Sammartino, Buddy Rogers, Lou Thez, Angelo Poffo, The Original Sheik, Don Leo Jonathan, Dory Dixon, Sweet Daddy Siki, who I actually know because of Brad.
I guarantee you if you Google a list of people before the 80s, that will be that order.
Dick the Bulldog Browser, Tiger Jeet Singh, and more favorites I could go on, and Johnny Valentine. Oh my God.
Who is this?
This is a guy named Frank _ Bolognese.
He googled that list.
No, he's old.
What? That's just rude, dude.
I'm just saying that makes sense. So you know what I mean. But some of these.
Do you understand? Some of those guys, you would have been born in the 40s. You'd be dead by now if you watched some of those guys growing up.
Maybe didn't watch them growing up, but he watched them. So.
Huh.
But anyways, like some of these ones, obviously a lot of these guys have some Japanese guys on there. Like, you know, a wrestling historian has San Martino, Hogan, Savage, Brett, Jericho, Taker, Van Dam, Guerrero Styles. But anyways, those you guys can find the post on my page. I posted it like a week ago. There's like 105 personal top 10 favorite lists here. And Devon's like wanted people to comment them and if anyone attacked them to like go at them, but nobody attacked anyone for the personal top 10. And I think that's really cool that you guys accept people having their personal top 10. John Morrison is on a couple of these top 10 lists here. And talking about John Morrison, he's
John
back.
Morrison.
How do you feel about that?
Guy doesn't look like he can hurt a fly.
But he's back.
He's never done. Well, he not in WWE. He's never done a single good thing.
I guess he did some cool stuff.
The dirt sheet was funny.
Yeah, the dirt sheet. And those are the time I actually thought he was good. No, when he was ECW champ, even though I didn't watch it that much, that stuff was okay.
Yeah, we were just waiting for CM Punk to take that belt from him.
They had some decent matches, and the stuff with The Miz was good. And there was a point when The Miz was champ and they had Miz versus Morrison. I almost believed that they were going to let Morrison win the belt, and it just didn't happen. But that's all I really remember with the Morrison time. And obviously
really
Eminem,
bad tights.
Eminem was kind of cool. It was a cool tag team for the time being. Him and Joey Mercury and Melina. But pretty solid. But anyways, I appreciate you guys at the top 10 list. Let us know what you guys think about ours. I thought they were pretty solid. I don't know, fair game. John Morrison's coming back. He's going to be on the bump next week, so check that out.
Didn't that already happen?
It's happening. They just announced it.
I saw somebody post a clip from it.
No, he promoted it. Saying, like, I'm going to be there next week.
What is that show?
It's just like a weekly show they do, and it's like Kayla Braxton, who's gorgeous, and then Voldemort, I don't know his actual name, and a couple of other guys.
Voldemort?
No, it's he follows. He's actually really cool, too. I'll tell you what his name is.
Oh.
I've watched it a few times. It's cool. They just have guests. It's just like another show. Don Volman.
Are you going to tell me what it is?
Pretty much, they just have guests come on there. Like, they'll have Seth come on there, an NXT person. They just interview them, talk to them. It's like a breakfast show for wrestling.
Morning mimosa?
Like a morning show, like, yeah, and they answer social media questions. Just like another outlet for wrestlers to, like, come on and talk about stuff. And
Happy Kayla got her show.
Yeah,
that's cool.
And it's cool, man. And the other three guys aren't, like, in the business, so, like, you get that fan perspective on how they react to certain
That's always
things.
fun.
So, like, Kayla's obviously the WWE person, and obviously they work for the WWE now, but they're giving that
Kayla's
fan
good at her
perspective.
job. She's very likable. Yeah. She doesn't ask stupid questions.
Yeah.
She doesn't seem like a dummy.
But you should watch it once in a while. Like, I wouldn't say every week it's been good.
I don't have the time to watch.
I wouldn't say every week's been good, but every other.
I don't even watch SmackDown.
Fair. Every other week's been good. It's quick. Also, if you guys haven't entered the Kraken takedown challenge that I've been, I was about to say takeover, Kraken takeover, because it was a collaboration with NXT Takeover. Enter the Kraken takedown challenge. I'll be posting on my page. Let me know what finishing move you would use to take down the Beast. It's a contest hosted by Kraken Rum. And if you enter, I'll have the link in my story, and I'll tell you guys where you can enter. But if you enter, you can enter for a chance to win a trip to WWE in Tampa, man, on April 5th, 2020, and the biggest event of the year. You guys all know what I'm talking about. But be sure to jump on there and enter, man. It's easy. If you're in the States, you just go on there, you put in your birthday, you put in your name, and you enter a chance to win 2 tickets to a WWE event in Tampa. Can't say the name of the show, but you guys all know what I'm talking about. It's actual contest hosted. I don't know. It's a contest hosted by the WWE. And
you can't say it in the video?
No, I don't know.
Why can't you say it here?
I don't know if I can. But I'm just saying, join the Kraken Takedown Challenge. Tell us what finishing move you would use to try to take down the Beast, the Kraken. Drink some Kraken rum if you guys enjoy drinking. It's actually really good. I enjoy it. I think it's a really good drink. I've had Kraken a handful of times. The bottle looks cool, and it's some good stuff, man. And now you can enter to win a chance to go to Tampa for WWE's biggest event, April 5th, 2020. And you get 2 tickets, and you can do the thing.
Why can't you say it?
I don't know. It's so hard.
Well, why can't you?
I don't know. It just says you can't say the name. So do the thing. I'll be posting a video on my page. You guys will see it.
But I said it like 4 times on the show.
Yeah, I didn't show them that part. Hopefully they don't actually watch and listen. I showed them the part where I promoted it, though.
No, I'm saying I've said it so many times today.
I know. We can say it. Generally, I think.
Yeah.
I just don't think we can say it for this. But anyways, I'm partnering up with Kraken for the Kraken Takedown Challenge. Enter, win a trip to WrestleMania, April 5th, 2020 in Tampa. 2 tickets.
Send us some rum.
Do the thing. And yeah, man. I've been posting about it in my story, so swipe up and enter. And I'll be putting a video up on my page telling you guys what finishing move I would use to take down the Beast. comment on that post and let us know what move you would use to take down the beast, and use the hashtag Kraken Takedown so you can enter that way as well. Enough of that. Let's talk about Raw really quickly. There's really not much I want to talk about. It looks like I got a lot of notes here, but realistically, going forward with Rollins being this whiny, I'm just trying to be a good guy. My heart was in the right place, but really I'm bitching about everything type of guy. I'm enjoying it. I'm glad that Owens is his antagonist in this whole situation.
I'm enjoying it.
It's good stuff. And the AOPs.
Raw's been interesting.
Yeah, and AOP's just stirring the pot. We don't know what the deal is. That's just all you can really say about that. Nothing else. Owens fought Lashley, and then that was pretty much it. And then AOP beat him up. I'm enjoying it though. I'm actually curious to see what happens next week. What is AOP with Rollins? Yeah. What's gonna happen with Rollins and Owens? So that's good stuff. I'm also enjoying the whole Aleister Black Murphy thing. Why is he so serious? I'm gonna get him to calm down. Murphy says Aleister Black kicked someone's head off. Solid stuff. The Viking Warriors need to stop facing jobbers. That's one of my complaints about the show. Let's get them some actual competition. And then I also thought about it. You have Ricochet and Carrillo teaming up with Rey Mysterio to take on the OC and stuff. If Randy Orton's taking on the OC and stuff, why not have Ricochet and Humberto maybe be a team and go after the tag titles against the Viking Raiders or something? I don't know.
You hate that.
I know, but who else is there?
I don't know.
The OC? You can use the club guys. Like, who's supposed to go after the Viking Raiders? Because I'm getting sick of them beating up, just facing.
Why does that bother you?
It's just they've been doing it for so long. Let's
not like it's the main event or something.
Let's give them some serious competition now, man. Let's get a tag team feud going. Is there any tag team feuds going on that show?
Is there tag team feuds going on anyway?
You kind of on Smackdown.
No, there's not.
Kind of.
Yeah.
The New Day doing some stuff, but let's like the.
You don't even have them on here.
I know because I didn't care about anything they did.
Because there's no tag team feud.
Yeah, they were beefing with the Revival, weren't they?
I don't know. Weren't they?
And then Heavy Machinery a little bit.
I don't know.
Lana Lashley got arrested. Who cares about that?
Lana needs to just not be on TV
Randy
anymore.
Orton and McIntyre had a promo with each other.
That was good.
Which was good. It just didn't make sense to me because they had this promo against it. I thought something was going to happen. Then, obviously, AJ Styles and the OC came up because AJ Styles had some problems with Randy Orton after last week.
You're confused because Randy Orton, you don't know who he's feuding with.
No,
you don't know who Drew McIntyre is feuding with.
No, not that. And then McIntyre just bounced. And they've done that a couple of times where McIntyre just bounces. Like, they don't really give him...
Yeah, and you're catching on. Maybe that's part of the storytelling.
Maybe. My concern is, like, what is McIntyre doing? I get what Randy Orton's doing, and I get what AJ Styles is doing. That all made sense to me, because AJ Styles didn't come after Randy Orton after what happened.
He's waiting for the right time to pick off Randy Orton. It's clear.
Is it Randy Orton he's going after?
Yeah, he's like, yo, if people want to beef with Randy, why do I need to be here? I'll come take the scraps.
So, okay, because I do want McIntyre... My thing is, I just want McIntyre to do something.
Yeah?
That's all it is.
He will.
I was really confused about it, because I thought, okay, maybe it doesn't lead to a Randy Orton McIntyre match.
What he's doing now is better than a nothing feud and losing.
No, 100%.
Or even winning a nothing feud.
No, for sure. I found it confusing. That was my only thing. But and then the whole Randy Orton AJ thing made sense to me because the last week and how the show ended. That's all fine. But I was just like, maybe McIntyre goes after Ray if Randy Orton's feuding AJ. I don't know. We'll see what happens. McIntyre versus Ray, that wouldn't be bad. And then Charlotte versus both Kabuki Warriors. I thought it was actually a pretty decent match. They gave Charlotte a lot of offense. She doesn't feel that relevant. This is a way to make her look strong. But
she lost.
She lost, but she got a lot of offense. You can still lose and look good. And
she didn't.
My only thing is that it went really long. I just thought it was longer than it really needed to be.
Yeah, a few minutes long.
Yeah, that's about it. That's my only complaint about it. Otherwise, it was good. It was solid.
Did you not think as soon as the match started, how's Charlotte gonna win this one?
Yeah. So I was surprised that Kabuki Warriors won. But I think what you said for the last few weeks is true. We're heading to Charlotte and Becky going after tag titles.
Yep.
Which I don't know if I want to see. Like, why are Becky and Charlotte?
They're not going to win them.
But why are Becky and Charlotte friends?
So they can have a feud for the belt again.
I don't know why. Because
Kabuki Warriors been getting treated pretty good. I don't think they're going to lose the belts to them.
Yeah, I don't want to put... And one thing I want to say about the Kabuki Warriors, I'm glad they finally got theme music that's just their theme music, not mixing both their theme music.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't really... If the music's not good, I don't notice it.
It wasn't good. I'm just glad they have music.
That's what I'm saying. It's not like the music was horrible, so I just don't notice.
I just don't like the mix that they had before. But anyways...
It's always brutal when they do that. It's really bad.
Yeah, I just... I'm not trying to bring logic into it. I just... and I get you're right. The pod just trying to make them feud for the title again. I just don't see why Becky is just so down to just tag team with Charlotte all the time when they had so much beef in the past and whatever.
And they've already given it away.
And they've tag teamed with each other so many times.
Recently.
Yeah. Like a Starrcade on Sunday and before that.
And on TV, even though it was supposed to be like Charlotte and Natalia, all of a sudden Becky's...
Yeah, I don't know. It's weird, but... And Becky, who is speaks up about every other problem she has, but she's okay with this.
When Becky comes out to help Charlotte, nobody's going to care.
Mm-hmm. And then the 6-man tag was really good. I actually really enjoyed it. It's cool
great.
seeing Ray, Humberto, and Ricochet guys all team up.
It was great.
Guys. And the OC picked up the win. Styles picked up the win. It was a solid match. A solid main event.
I like what they've been doing with Mysterio.
Yeah, I dig it. And now that we...
All I want to do is show everyone the superheroes are real.
Yeah.
Like Ricochet, just don't show up to work anymore, man.
But on that note, I do like, yeah, it is a little chaotic. It is a little bit of a free for all, but it is kind of weird that they have no real championship to go after. So it's kind of just like everyone's feuding for like if Owens and Rollins are feuding over the title, I think it'd just be like a little bit cooler than just feuding. But it is what it is. Brock's the champ. He'll be back around Rumble. I guess it's just that it's a land with no title. So it is what it is. I wonder who he'll feud when he comes back around that time though.
So TLC is next Sunday.
Yeah.
Where they have one match booked?
They've done that for different people, and it ended up being pretty good because they put a bunch of random matches on, like Orton.
But still, it's
Ricochet.
just like, what am I?
Hell in the Cell, I think they did that for.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, I'm not going to talk about NXT because I barely watched it. I just will say Dakota looked cool. They had Dunn lose to Dane.
Dakota looks cool.
Kushida's back. She got hotter as a heel. Kushida's back, and
she looks good.
He picked up a victory. They had Riddle versus Ono again, and I guess I should say I thought I said Hero, but Ono.
Keith Lee, man.
Ono 0-4. But anyways, everything led. Oh, and then Shayna and Rhea are going to face each other December 18th for their women's title. Finally, they're going to have the match that they've been kind of teasing for months now.
Mm-hmm.
And then they had a big 6-man for the main event, and everything ended up leading to William Regal booking Finn versus Ciampa versus Keith Lee for a number one contendership against who faces Adam Cole for the championship on the 18th.
Like, it's so stupid.
Why is Keith Lee in there now?
Well, Lee just pinned the champion. He should be number one contender.
Is that what we're doing? Okay. Because my mindset of it was...
Lee pinned Adam Cole in that match.
Did he? Okay, sweet. I didn't watch the match because I didn't watch the show.
Then why would Keith Lee not be in there? He's the most popular guy in NXT
No,
right
so
now.
I'm like... Because initially what I thought like weeks ago was that we were heading to maybe a triple threat with Ciampa, Adam Cole, Finn.
Yeah, but they need to determine a number one contender.
Yeah, and then now Keith Lee's a part of it too because he's been killing it in the last few weeks, 110%. I don't know. I thought that everything I thought was gonna happen is not gonna happen. So now I'm throwing
He's
off.
got the big mo right now, big momentum. He pinned the champion.
So who do you think is gonna win that triple threat? Keith Lee? I mean, Keith Lee versus Adam Cole on December 18th.
I don't know.
It's not a takeover or nothing.
I was gonna say they might hold off on Keith Lee till the takeover in Portland.
I think they might do that and then have the takeover.
I think they'll have Keith Lee beat Adam Cole in Portland.
Maybe.
It's only 3 months away.
Maybe. Because
Not even 3 months.
Because Ciampa's have to go for that belt again.
2 months and a bit.
The belt he never
He doesn't
lost.
have to.
And then Finn, I think his whole intention is to go after the belt until... But Finn you could write off and say he doesn't do anything until Johnny comes back because that's where they're going to go to.
Yeah, or Johnny comes in and takes him out of that match.
That too. Because they're going to have to go back to Johnny and Finn at some point.
Yep.
But Ciampa, I just assume, would be going for the title eventually.
Yeah, he should. But there's a lot of guys that deserve it. That's the great thing about NXT.
That is true. There's a lot of contenders.
Yep.
And that was the contrast you can look at, though, when there's a champion that a lot of people are chasing compared to on Raw, where there's no champion there and everyone's free-for-alling.
But even if there was a champion, there'd only be one guy chasing him.
Which is stupid. But I'm just saying, like, there should be people chasing the belt.
Hey, you got a champion on SmackDown and only one guy's going after him.
Well, and oddly enough, Bray's making the challenges to people he faces for that title.
Yep, they're just, I don't know. I can't keep track of when it was, but at some point they forgot how to
book the title.
Not even book the title, make a main event.
Yeah.
There's no main event now. Like, remember before?
Yeah.
Like, this whole wondering who's going to be the main event thing is new.
Yeah.
When we grew up, we were watching that show to see that last match.
No, 100%.
Now we're watching the show out of habit.
That's true.
We're not watching because we want to or care.
See how it goes.
Except maybe
will it
Survivor
be a good
Series.
show or will it be
Maybe
a bad
Survivor
show?
Series.
No, it's true.
Because we wanted to see the matches. There was no stakes.
Well, as you can see on NXT here, they're booking the main event. They're getting because all three of these matches against Adam Cole could be good matches.
So Takeover is like a double-edged sword there. Because yes, we want to see Takeover because usually top to bottom, there's not a single bad thing about it.
Yeah.
But we tune in to see the main event.
Yeah, and all 5 matches they usually book came in with storylines, with hot angles.
And then the times that a different story other than the title has been bigger. The title's been in the middle of the card, and the main event's been the main event, like Gargano, Ciampa, whatever it is, because they know how to book a main event.
Yeah. No, that's fair. They do. And that's the thing. Yeah, and all their main events have come with heart stories. Or like, you want to see this guy face this guy. It's finally happening. Let's see if he can do it. Or where you're pulling for both guys. Where you're like, I'm okay if, say, Adam Cole wins, but I'm also okay if this other person wins. So, Yeah, NXT, I didn't watch this week to really dive into it, but it seemed like it was a better show than last week.
You ready for
Dynamite?
Your favorite segment of the week?
Dynamite! A-dubs.
God.
A-dub. This show was way better than last week's show.
Still not that good.
Way better. And I'll say this. Okay, let me go down my notes. The Cody promo, I liked it. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was great.
Yo, Janela did what WWE guys do.
What?
Complain and then you get a push.
Yeah, that's what happened. That's what happened. But let's just start from the Cody promo. How'd you feel about it? I really liked it.
It was excellent.
Very Flair-esque with the taking stuff off.
Cody is really good at talking in the context of a wrestling show.
Yeah.
He's very good at it.
And he knows exactly what his role is, what he's trying to get across, and let's do this.
He is...
And the people love him, and they get hyped with everything he says.
He is a sort of snobby, rich douche that is the best babyface in wrestling.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It's weird.
You telling me no babyface in the history of wrestling could just bust out a suitcase full of money and not get booed?
Yeah. They just love him so much.
You know why? Because he gives off this aura that, like, he earned it.
Yeah.
It wasn't just give it to him.
And it's his family right in the same time, and he's Cody, and
he put some polka dots on.
And he brought AEW to everybody, and you know, like I don't know, but I loved it.
He called MJF hood rich.
Called him hood rich. And NWO, Chris Jericho. Yeah, he called him a lot of things. He even commented on his wife's weird angle. I don't know, she's just going around cutting people's hair, like.
Yeah, all the people that usually hold him up.
Yeah, he's like, Dustin, my brother's feuding with the Inner Circle with the Bucks. He goes, he hit everything that you want him to hit. He made everything make sense, and he got to his point.
My wife's just doing her own thing.
Like those guys, he addressed the fact that those guys attacked him the week. He's like, I would have just gave him a chance if they asked. Like he addressed everything, and it was
and that's the one thing that WWE has done year after year is you never get rewarded for paying attention.
Yeah,
every show. Even the shittiest of shows,
they think we're stupid. We were supposed to just forget things happened.
Every show, every movie, a key part of it is you get rewarded for paying attention. Not in WWE. Maybe some of the talent sneak something into their promo. That's more like an Easter egg. You're not getting rewarded. It's not part of the story. They'll sneak something in that make you go, oh, hey, I remember that.
Yeah. And that's the thing. And the thing about last week, I complained about a lot of things. I'm like, why did these guys attack him? What happened to MJF? And he addressed everything this week, and it made me satisfied. You know, like I felt rewarded for the fact that all those questions.
Yeah, but you tend to be more critical of things that aren't even that bad, and when things are really bad, you don't say shit.
Like what's been really bad?
I don't know, but like whatever happened on Dynamite last week, none of it was really that bad.
No, nothing was really bad. I just didn't understand certain things, and the fact that
it's just like you're 28 years old.
Yeah.
And you still try to ask questions about why certain things in wrestling aren't logical. Like, dude, stop bashing your head against a brick wall.
I'm not. It's
never gonna be.
I don't lose sleep over it. I just things. I would like things to make a little bit more sense.
Wouldn't everyone? Water's wet.
I know.
Sky's blue.
But this guy made it make sense. He came back a week later and made things make sense. I appreciate that. The thing is with the WWE sometimes, and trust me, I love WWE. I'm a WWE guy. They don't do that all the time.
They never do it.
And that's what frustrates me. That's all it is. I don't lose sleep over it. I'm not going to stop watching anything. I'm not going to be like, I'm canceling my WWE network. I would just be more happy if things made sense. And once upon a time, they kind of did, man. Like I said, 97 was one of my favorite years. They always made sure everything made sense back then. If something crazy happened to end up thing next week, it made sense why that happened, why this person was there.
I don't really believe that. We can get into that next week. But
we want to break down 1997?
Attitude Era did not make sense at all.
What did it make sense? I mean, obviously the stuff, probably. You're probably going to be like rockabilly or something.
No, you're going to name one thing that made sense, and I'll be able to name a lot.
All right.
That's what you do.
We'll do that next week. It's cool.
That's fine.
There were solid matches. I literally what it says on the page. The Lucha Brothers both got a couple of wins, and they've needed wins for a bit. One of them beat Trent, and the other one beat Christopher Daniels. Was that Christopher Daniels' botch? Did you see? I don't know if it was a botch or part of the match, but it was a botch.
I can't imagine the Lucha Brothers being there past whatever their contracts are.
Really? Because
they have given no time to these guys, no build,
I think
no
this
nothing.
week they have, and I think
no getting wins are nothing. They get no mic time. They get no character building. They're like
that's true.
They're like heels who don't do anything bad.
But I was watching them, and mostly Pentagon. During the Pentagon match, I'm like, if they don't do,
they're supposed to be heels. The crowd loves Pentagon.
I know, but I was like, if that's one thing, and I'm like, if they don't do something with this guy,
he's gonna leave.
They're dropping the ball. Cause I was looking at him like, if I was a non-wrestling fan and I was watching this show, I'm like, he looks cool.
Yeah,
he looks cool. He does cool things. The fans chant when he does the Ciro de Miro thing. Yeah. Like, I'm like, he's cool, man. Like, especially him as like paint under his face. I'm like, he looks cool. Like, if they don't do something with this dude,
They need to stop giving time to the librarians and build some characters underneath Phoenix and Pentagon.
The six, but Pentagon and Phoenix definitely need to be used better. I won't disagree with you on that. That's true.
They are easy top 4 on that roster.
Yeah, and people love their look. People love that style.
They're top 4 or 5 on the roster without any debate.
No, 100%. No, I agree with you. I can't argue that. That happened to me during that show.
Being that good is cross-cultural.
Yeah, and I remember watching the show, and specifically during that Christopher Daniels match, was like, damn, they got to do something with Pentagon. Like, throughout this entire show, like, there was a point where it was kind of like fading out after like back-to-back woman stuff.
Phoenix might be one of the best wrestlers on the entire planet.
No, Phoenix is dope too, but like Pentagon's
a character.
Yeah, his character, like his face paint, everything. Phoenix is dope. That match was dope because of Phoenix. Like, that's the thing about the Lucha Brothers, though. You put him in a
Trent's
match.
good too, though.
Yeah, but you put the Lucha, and so was Christopher Daniels. But you put
the Fallen Angels, great.
Yeah, but you put the Lucha Brothers anywhere, and you'll be like, it's good because they're a common denominator.
And I think they're being used as just a good hand.
Yeah, which isn't good, man. The 6-man tag at the beginning of the match show was good with the Santana and Ortiz and Guevara versus Dustin and the Bucks. Just fun. It was just a fun little sprint to kick off the show.
Yeah, was the Unnatural Kick the stupidest name of a move of all time?
Yeah, it really is. The Unnatural
Why not? What's wrong with Golden Globes or Shattered Dreams?
They don't call it Shattered Dreams.
I get it. They call it the Unnatural Kick.
I didn't. It must have flew in my head.
Yeah, because it's so bad.
Yeah, in my head, I'm like Shattered Dreams, but like, yeah. It was good though. Whatever, it was good stuff. It was funny.
Women's division. What?
I don't.
AEW has a women's division.
I don't like Guevara trying to vlog during the match. I think it's a stupid little gimmick. I get he does vlogs and stuff, but that was kind of.
Honestly, I think it's dope because it makes me hate that guy.
There you go. Fair.
I want to punch him.
No argument.
And this is like a strictly wrestling thing. Like I want to punch him so hard in the face. He is so unbearable.
No, fair.
I love it.
You know, when you say it like that, then that maybe I'm wrong. I
love it. It's
maybe
just
I'm wrong.
That was my thought. I'm like, this little cocky douche.
When he did that, I didn't like it. I'm like, I don't like this guy. I'm not supposed to. So maybe that's right. No, you know what?
He's a D-bag. And I'm wrong. That's what we need.
I didn't like because I'm like, what type of idiot pulls out a phone?
Yeah.
No, fair.
But you want to be one of those, like, he's a great heel. I respect him.
No, you're right. No, I don't. You're right.
You thimble nuts.
Shut the hell up. Okay, so we'll talk about the women's division because you brought it up. I'm just happy they're actually trying to build some sort of storylines in that division.
If anybody should belongs on Dark forever, it's Nyla Rose. Even the diehard AEW fans know she sucks.
I think what they did with it this week was okay. I don't know why they did that Britt Baker cutscene. I think that was stupid. They're trying
because they're trying to do the AEW thing. They're obsessed with WWE.
Yeah, like what was that? Like if you don't want to act, like please don't. Like why? Why was she even in the crowd again? That made no sense.
And the thing is, every time they reference WWE, it gets people talking. So I don't even think they're really that obsessed. I think they do it just to get a reaction out of people.
No, for sure.
Yeah.
But it's just like, why? That was so unnecessary. Unless they're going to, obviously not unnecessary because they're probably going to go with Britt versus Nyla soon.
I thought it was kind of funny.
Yeah, it just
because it was so recent.
Mr. Logical here was like, why was she in the crowd?
It was so recent. That's why I found it funny. It was just a little Easter egg for the fans.
No, you're right. I'm agreeing with you a lot here because it
was in the picture-in-picture too.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know why. I just thought it was stupid.
They did it in the picture-in-picture.
They did the whole powerbomb through the tables in the picture-in-picture though. I thought that should have been like on the show and then I don't know.
That rule sucks.
The Statlander chick, she's an alien. The gimmick I don't get, but she was actually pretty good. The match actually wasn't that bad. I actually watched it and I enjoyed it. The Brandy Rose thing, who gave her a mic? It just sounded so unauthentic. And my only thing about this whole Brandy Rhodes thing this whole Brandy Rhodes thing is how many cult things do we have? We have the Dark Order, which is like this dark, glue, ominous, like cult, like thingy. Now we have.
I'm sure Brandy does really good things backstage.
Yeah,
and she's always going off on people like, because people are like, I'm not just Cody's wife, this and that. This and that. Like, yeah, you kind of are.
Yeah,
you kind of are, and there's nothing wrong with that. Most successful people got somewhere because of who they know, who's in their family. Because you know what? If I was super successful or if I had kids or whoever, if I could help somebody, I would do that. And I don't think whether your father's a billionaire or a CEO or whatever it is, husband, I don't think there's anything wrong with getting that help. But let's face it, she's just not a good wrestling character.
I just don't know. I don't get it. I tried.
She was a great valet.
Yeah.
She had good timing. She knew where to be.
Awesome Kong should be doing more. Someone sacrificed themselves and shaved their head. She's a wrestler. Whoever that fan was from the crowd is a wrestler. I forget her name. But she joined their Nightmare Collective. group, and I'm just confused because like now
It's a poor man's Dark Order.
She's building a stable, which is supposed to be like another cult where people are sacrificing each other. What the Dark Order is doing. Then we have another like dark ominous group with the Butcher, Blade, and Bunny. There's all this darkness. Like what are we? This is like I wrote Ministry and Brood. I'm like, this is a bunch of dark groups that are probably what are they all going to come together or something? Because I don't get it. I just don't know. Like I like the Dark Order.
That means either the Cody or the Bucks or Kenny Omega, like that kind of shit. And I'm going to assume it's Omega because everything he seems to have his hands on sucks.
Like, I actually do like the Dark Order, what they're doing with it now.
That's how you know he probably has nothing to do with it.
Like,
that's probably the Young Bucks.
They're explaining it now. They're making sense out of it.
It's been great.
Cool vignettes. But now, with all this other stuff, I'm confused. Like, now I'm like, well, now they're dark, too, and all, like, scary and dark with Brandy. Oh, now this Butcher Bunny thing's... hopefully this Butcher Bunny thing's not a dark thing, and they kind of, like, just become, like, a tag team that's, like, wants to beat up people.
Jim Ross, like, who?
Yeah, I just think there's too many cult like weird like dark ominous gimmicks going on.
Join the cult, babies.
But I do think the women did a lot better this week in their defining characters and storylines. That's my only thing.
Sure.
We're probably gonna get to Britt and Nyla. Well, this Statlander chick's probably gonna have to fight Awesome Kong now through like because she didn't join Brandy. Like they're doing.
Somebody
things.
was saying I read somewhere that Awesome Kong can't wrestle.
Oh, I don't know about that.
Yeah, apparently she's like really beat up or something. That's why they only have her doing this kind of stuff.
That's weird. The Lexicon of Le Champion, Chris Jericho, kind of promo, good stuff. They brought out the Lucha, Jurassic Express. My bad.
Yeah. You gonna say Lucha House Party or what?
Yeah, I was. Well, that's the wrong Luchasaurus Party. I don't know. It was good, man. You know, he listed off all the people he wouldn't face, and he said Moxley a million times. He said Paige. He said Alan. He said Alan Jones for AJ Styles.
Jungle Boy has 0 wins.
So so someone pointed that out to me. So Jungle Boy is who is facing December 18th, okay? Which is cool. I'm down for that. It's going to be a great match. Ooh. Jericho's giving Jungle Boy an opportunity to face him for the World Championship. That's awesome. Jericho's last match of this year is against Jungle Boy.
And he's going to almost lose because, he gave a match to the last place guy, and the last place guy almost beat him. It's good storytelling.
No, it is good storytelling. But someone pointed those, and it's probably wrong, but I wanted to bring it up because it is kind of funny in an ironic way. If wins and losses matter so much in this business, and they push that like wins and losses matter.
Yeah, it matters to your ranking.
I know.
If you got a champ calling somebody out for the TV show, why would you say no? So
that's a perspective I want people to look at it at. Jericho said he will face him. Jericho's giving him the opportunity.
Hey, man, in the playoffs of sports, the first seed plays the 8th seed.
Jericho's giving him the opportunity regardless of his wins and losses.
I don't see a problem with that.
And that's what it is.
That doesn't mean wins and losses don't matter. Yeah. It's not like he's a number one contender. He's been given a title.
But I see I see why people are like, if wins and losses matter so much, Jungle Boy isn't one anything, why is he getting the shot? I think you guys need to look at the perspective of Jericho's giving him this shot.
Yeah, like get over it.
I just wanted to point that out.
That's why
I wrote Jungle Boy 0 wins.
It's a one Wednesday thing. Get over it.
Yeah, and it's just, it's going to draw people in. People are going to see Jungle Boy try to go after the title. Because in the future, we might see it again. It's kind of what they did with Jericho and Darby. It made Darby seem a little bit more relevant when that happened. And it was a Lexicon of the Champion, kind of like he said the list is done, but this is a Lexicon, don't call it a list. And it was good stuff, man. He named a bunch of people. It was solid. Called it like AJ Styles secretly. He said Paige. He said a bunch of other names. It was good stuff. Moxie vs. Janela. I thought this was Janela's best just singles match.
I turned it off before that.
And it was pretty solid. It was good stuff. Moxie won.
How was it?
It was good. I think it was a good match.
If I see Joey Janela announce, I'm just probably not going to watch.
I think it was a good match. Moxie's over as hell. Moxie gave him some.
It was a tough choice for me because I really like watching Moxley.
Yeah, it was a good match.
I wasn't trying to watch Joey Janela.
Once again, if anyone ever says that the AEW roster feels thin, like there was people that weren't on this show that I missed, man. Like once again, Pac wasn't there. I'm not saying I'm a huge Hangman Page fan, but he wasn't there.
Kenny Olivier,
Darby Allin wasn't on the show. Like they got enough talent to put on a 2-hour show every week and then a pay-per-view. So
they're not thin. They're not thin.
Yeah, there's just people still will be like, oh, who's on the roster? There's nobody there.
It's because WWE has so many stars.
Yeah.
Not big stars, superstars. They got so many stars, good wrestlers, that you start getting programmed to think that that's the way it should be.
Yeah.
But that's not realistic.
We don't need a lot of people on there doing nothing.
AEW's got a nice balanced roster.
Yeah. And they got guys that can use and take in, put out. Like, those Scorpio Sky wasn't there because they're in. Like, this, it's a good roster, man. It's a solid roster.
Yeah, it's nice and balanced.
The only other thing I didn't talk about was MJF's promo. It was good as well. He kind of talked about Cody and this and that. But anyways, I enjoyed Dynamite this week. I didn't watch NXT, so Dynamite's a better show for me this week.
Yeah, it was decent. I didn't really much...
And
there wasn't much going on for Dynamite or NXT.
It wasn't. There was good wrestling on the show, The women.
I know CM Punk on backstage. So
yeah. There was good wrestling on the show. The women was still the lowest point of the show for me.
I think they will be.
They did better, but they were the lowest point of the show. And as a promo character guy, I love the promos this week. I love Jericho's. But they had probably the two best promo guys cutting promos, Jericho and Cody. Were out there cutting promos this week, and it was solid. And it led to things that we want to see. Is MJF going to challenge Cody? We got a match between Jungle Boy and Jericho. It's good stuff, man. Maybe we'll see a 6-man before we get to the 18th.
Yeah.
With Jericho, someone, and Hager versus Luchasaurus, Marco, and Jungle Boy. Maybe tag team. Who knows? Because I think we all want to see Luchasaurus and Hager go at it at some point too.
Definitely.
But yeah, I enjoyed Dynamite. I was probably out of all 4 shows, like I did enjoy Raw, but I think I enjoyed Dynamite the most. And then what that once again goes for it being 2 hours and flying by. Sometimes Raw does still feel a little bit long.
Yeah, Raw's been paced a lot better in recent weeks.
It has been like this Raw was a lot better than the past few weeks.
Yeah.
Well, since Survivor Series, I guess, because the ones before Survivor Series are fun with the invasion stuff. But it was a good Raw. I'll say that much. There was a good Raw. There was a bad Raw, and this week was a good Raw again. So I enjoyed it. I think that's it, man. Anything else?
No, I'm good, man.
Well, yeah. So Chalkline, use my promo code TWC15. Do the thing. Save yourself 50% on your Chalkline merchandise, wrestling jackets. They dropped all the Outsider stuff and the NWO stuff that they used for Complex Con. They dropped all the stuff that they released and like exclusively, like the Death Row jackets and stuff like that as well. Also, they got all the vintage stuff there. They got the Nickelodeon stuff up there. They got TV show stuff, Home Alone jackets and stuff like that too. Rocky. Check out Chalkline on Chalkline Official on Instagram and chalklineofficial.com. Use the promo code TW15 and get your Chalkline stuff. I think that's it for this week, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed the show. Episode 20. We're going to 21 next week.
20.
We did it, eh?
Where it all begins again.
Yeah. Wore the jacket won the first episode just for that. My OG Prince of Madness Chalkline jacket. For those of you who don't know, Prince of Madness, that name was endorsed by Hulk Hogan. He said, go with it, brother.
He's not
I
the
think
Macho
that
Man.
one's too sweet. And I'm like, thank you.
He's
the closest to him, okay? He inducted him in the Hall of Fame. Anyways.
Right.
Show's over. Hope you guys enjoy your week. We'll see you all next time.
Bye-bye.
Ooh, yeah, dig it. Uh-huh.